wellness beliefs. Dating back thousands of years, your body possesses an unspoken wisdom that we seek to enhance. These sources of energy, known as your chakras, lend power to your everyday pursuits and guide your state of well-being throughout the day. We created Mantra Essential Oils to help you tap into these innermost points of energy. Mantra Essential Oils are nature's sources to align your energies, calm your senses, and connect with your inner self. We invite you to experience each blend traditionally used for its own therapeutic properties. Balance the connection between mind, body, and spirit. Mantra Essential Oils. Order from an affiliate today.
Hello, welcome here. Glad to have you here joining me, showing up with me. Today, like all these days, I'm going to choose. I already chose or drew a card from the Power of Love activation card. Actually, something happened. I chose a card, and I decided that I realized that I didn't go outside yet. I didn't connect with the sun yet. So I put the card back, went outside, connected with the sun, and then drew other cards. And those are the cards that we're going to do today. So the cards that jumped out of the deck, there were two. And some way, somehow, it's interesting because they both have to do with taking responsibility, being responsible in one way or the other. The first card is loyalty. And the second card is ownership. And it's funny because I know that I've done this card. This card has been shuffled thousands of times. And still these words are words that are in alphabetical order in the deck. So let's see what's going on. Okay, so the part of love, because the reason why this deck is called the Power of Love is because it talks about how to activate several aspects of love, because the word love is so extremely general and broad, and it can mean agape love, it can be erotic love, it can mean brotherly love, it can mean so many things that in this card every day they show like another aspect of love. Okay, then, so let's roll. The first one is loyalty. Loyalty is your reliability, demonstrates your loving sense of devotion and consistency of being. We all, it's easy to love for 5 minutes, or to give somebody or something your attention for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. But what makes us succeed, or what makes us human beings, and what makes us special is our ability to be consistent. So I've always said, like, I finished my college degree not even because I work hard, but just because I was consistent. That meant that I would like only work 1 or 2 hours daily, but I would do it daily. And because of that, because I would spend 1 hour before the lecture reading through the material that's going to be taught that day. During the class, I would take notes, and after the notes, even in the train, I would write them out, because then they're still fresh in my memory. And where I lived compared to where I went to college, it was like a train that's 1 hour and 15 minutes. So I would take that time that I'm in the train to write out the notes I've made, and type them out. And that is what I would do for every class. When it came time for the exams, I've never ever, I got this degree without never ever having to study up until 3 o'clock in the morning or doing none of that. I would just go through everything, and then usually after the semester's over, you get 2 weeks off, and then the exams start. In those 2 weeks, I would review everything, all my notes and everything I've typed out, and I would be ready to go. So that is just that achievements are being done, or things can be achieved just by consistency, and that's a part of loyalty. Okay, so loyalty. I'm going to read what the guidebook is saying. Loyalty. Your reliability demonstrates your loving sense of devotion and consistency of being. Your loyalty is measured by the strength of your commitment to your relationships and obligations. You possess an unwavering faithfulness. Your soul is stirred only when you unselfishly have the best interests of others at heart. Your devotion is freely given with true sense of unconditional love. Loyalty asks you to be steadfast in your motives and unwavering in your ideals. Be a living example to others. Demonstrate how your belief in a person, a cause, or a principle can enrich your life experience, expand your horizons, and bring you a sense of solidarity and oneness. When you are really honest about where your loyalties lie, you must also be willing to ask yourself what these loyalties are teaching you about yourself and your own value system. Is there a need you're meeting? What fulfills you and makes you whole? Are you giving unconditionally, expecting nothing in return? Never misuse or abuse your loyalties, but instead defend them like a roaring lion, letting everyone know you are honorable, brave, and strong. So if you heard what I've said, there are several points. The first point has to do with your stirred giving. Loyalty has the first point of loyalty is giving, and giving is way more important than what people might think, because giving will bring about so much when you're especially in relationships and obligations. When you have a child, you will have to give. You will have to give milk. You will have to take care, give attention, give love. When you're married, you will have to love, give attention, give love, be there. And it's not always when it's convenient. If the child cries 3 o'clock in the morning, you're sleeping. Okay. this giving that you will have to in relationships or for a cause or for whatever is not always super comfortable or super convenient, but it will develop character traits. It will evolve your character and will finally benefit you more than it benefits the one you give. You might think, oh, like I'm doing all this for my child, and I'm doing all this for my husband, and I'm doing all this for the church or whatever organization you're part of, and you might think that it's like and I might not get in return compared to what I'm giving, and you might see these kind of things like a business. But what you overlook is that when you do these things, when you give, you're evolving character traits that at the end of the road are going to be more beneficial to you than for anyone else. So that's like the first part of the card. That's the part of giving. Your devotion is giving, and your soul is stirred when you unselfishly have others' self-interest at heart. I mean, the people with leadership positions, that's what they do. And leadership evolves you more than it evolves others. When others rely on you, it will evolve you as a person more than others. Okay. That's when you are a leader. And the other side of being a leader is being led. And that's like when you demonstrate your belief in a person, and that will expand, will enrich your life experience, expand your horizon, no? Bring a sense of solidarity and oneness. And that has a lot of benefits for you as well, spiritual benefits and benefits in your well-being. Okay, so that's what, I mean, there's so much to say. I mean, actually, I don't want to go like very, very deep, because I just want to like give like a very like simple part in this. So that's loyalty. So today we're going to try to activate loyalty within us. Okay. And the second card, I felt the temptation to choose one, but I'm like, no. Those two cards just jumped out for today. That means that both have to be dealt with today and have to be activated today. So the second one is ownership. You acknowledge your misdeeds and accomplishments alike, and learn to love them, and learn to love them all as lessons. Okay. I have to read in just in the opposite way than usually how I have to read, so that's why I'm like a little bit slower. Okay, so ownership. You own your misdeeds and your accomplishments. Accept that you made mistakes and carry and the responsibility of your decisions, and take leadership and take responsibility. And you're, like I said, it's not, you think you're doing this for others, but you're doing this for your own evolvement, your own strength of character. The times that I had to sacrifice or do certain things on behalf of my family have made me evolved my character and my personality, and those are skills that I still have and I can still use. And it's way better to be to own your responsibility, own your stuff, and carrying them, then to you're going to feel a lot better than when you skip them, when you don't carry on your responsibility, you don't own your responsibility. I mean, what I'm going on a squirrel. I was about to go into a tangent. Maybe I do. I'm just going to read what's said here, and I might give like examples at the end. Okay, so ownership. Oops, maybe like this. It's less well readable. Okay. Ownership. You acknowledge your misdeeds and accomplishments alike, and learn to love them all as lessons. You have reached a pivotal place in your spiritual journey. You're able to take full responsibility for all your actions, thoughts, and words in this and other lifetimes. You may now step back and view your experiences objectively, realizing that you are an evolving spiritual being. Each day has brought with it a new insight into yourself and the world around you. You don't look back on particular situations as failures. Instead, you view them as valuable feedback, providing information you need in order to learn, understand, and grow. You take ownership of your choices, aware that as a responsible being, you cannot blame your behavior on another. Everything you experience is a reflection of what is within you. Recognizing that what you say can either enlighten or depress. You can now speak with a purpose. You choose positive and empowering words, thoughts, and deeds. The cornerstone of a healthy and soulful existence. Oops. Like a pinch, like over there. Okay, so ownership. Sometimes I will connect with people and they will ask me about how to deal with certain things. And like they're not happy in their marriage and or whatever, like they're in a situation and they ask me for advice. And I say that, okay, you have to put yourself first. But sometimes putting yourself first means putting other people first. Why? Because you're behaving like a person, like an honorable human being. And by doing so, while you think you're putting other people first, you're actually at the end of the road, you're going to put yourself first. Like I think last week, somebody connected with me because of the videos and told me about that he is married and he's not happy with his wife anymore, and his wife and him, they're not there's no connection. They grew out of each other and they're not like happy with each other anymore. And I talked with him about this, and I told, okay, you have kids, right? Like you have your children, you have this family. Things are not exactly the way they are or how you wish them to be, but think very carefully about what you're going to do now, okay? Because what your pleasure now or what is like interesting to do now may not be like on the long run what's the best thing for you. So if now like you're not happy with your wife, what can you do to improve that? Of course, it's easy to say, I'm going to leave. But if you leave, are you going to feel better? Or are you going to feel better if you stay? The probabilities that you're going to feel better when you stay are probably bigger than when you leave. Why? Because if you leave, okay, you might meet somebody that's who's better aligned with you. But how are you going to feel about the fact that you built out because things weren't convenient anymore? How are you going to feel about your children? Your children, because like your children are doing good at school, they're like in this safe family knit, and they're successful. Like the majority of the people are when the children are when the father's in the home, where when the family is complete. Okay, your legacy. How do you want to be remembered by your children? How do you want to be remembered by your wife? What do you want to leave behind? I mean, those kind of things are so important. And I'm not telling you this in the sense that everybody should stay together. I mean, like if your husband is like whooping your butt, I'm not going to tell you to stay there because because that's dangerous. I'm talking about this feeling of not. It's a kind of, I cannot even call it unhappiness. It's like dissatisfaction, this superficial feeling of dissatisfaction. So we were talking about that. So we're not talking about like I said, somebody whooping your butt and drinking and breaking and putting your children in danger. I'm just talking about this kind of satisfaction. Is it possible to mend these kind of things? Think very carefully about your loyalty and your ownership. Okay. When you're a leader, you don't put yourself first. Maybe like if you only think, eventually you are, but I mean, on the first, but in the first step you don't, and because of that, in the end, you will get compensated. So think about things. Think about your loyalty. That when you're loyal, sometimes you might not do things that will give you instantaneous pleasure, but will give you like a lot of satisfaction in return. And your ownership. You own things. And when you own things and you own relationships and you own stuff, owning is different than renting. Okay? When you own, that means that sometimes things are inconvenient or whatever, and you will just carry on. Just like when you own a business, sometimes, or when you own a family or whatever you own, this requires a kind of I don't even like the word is maturity, okay, and wisdom. And maturity and wisdom doesn't mean always to do what's short term, but you have to look on long term in whatever you do. Okay, then today it has been like a extra long day because of the 2 cards. Thank you for listening to me, and my advice or encourage you for today, just before the weekend, before you're going out and whatever, to activate loyalty, this aspect of love that we call loyalty. Oops. Yes, that we call loyalty, and to activate this other aspect of love that we call ownership. Okay, then. Thank you for listening to me. Until the next time. Bye.